Hello guys, how are you? Are you enjoying the spooky season as much as we do? Or do you want to have a break from all the Halloween-themed movies and TV shows? Well, if you are, there is no better escape route than Heartland, the ultimate romantic family drama of the Canadian TV. The good thing is, for the most part of the year, we're stuck with binging the old seasons as there are no new material out. However, you are lucky because a couple of weeks ago Heartland Season 15 has been released and we cannot get enough of it. The only downside, though, is the fact that now many started to argue this is the very last season of Heartland saga. Does this mean we will not have a Season 16 of Heartland? Well, that would be a bummer. Season 14 has been a roller coaster for Heartland as the series lost one of its best characters ever, Ty Borden. The actor who was portraying Ty, Graham Wardle, decided that he will leave the show and thus, the showrunners had to kill his character off. The news devastated millions of fans, with many arguing that the show is no longer worth to watch. Even though it sounds a bit extreme at first, the audience was serious and the ratings of the series dropped considerably. Many questioned the show's decision of killing Ty. They claimed that since Wardle let the showrunners know of his intentions 2 years prior, a better ending for his character could have been achieved. For instance, he might have gone to the overseas for work or just simply divorce with Amy. Yes, both of these ideas sound terrible, but still, they could create a chance for Wardle to star in the show again one day. However, when you kill his character off, there is no possibility of having him back in the future, which is heartbreaking. Naturally, many fans decided that they can no longer handle the drama of the show and stopped to watch Heartland. Although the quality of the show was more or less the same, the feeling and the tone of the series was different than before. Thus, even the ones who are still watching the show admitted that they don't feel the same attachment towards the series anymore. In other words, Heartland has gone through one of the roughest patches that a show can go through in its lifetime. Nevertheless, despite the relatively lower ratings, Heartland managed to remain arguably the best show on the CBC. Therefore, financially, it doesn't make sense for the network to cancel the series, at least for now. Besides, since the show is on air for 15 long years, it would be a shame to lose it so suddenly without a hype around its jubilee. In fact, if Heartland will come to an end one day, we expect the CBC to announce the fact that it will be the last season a year before the release of the season, so that the proper hype can build up among the fan base. Let's be honest, even the ones who stopped watching the show would be more than excited to watch the last season of Heartland. Once you invest in a show for multiple years, you cannot help but wonder what will happen in the end. It should also be noted that despite the fact that some fans are leaving the fandom due to the heartbreak over Ty's death, the others are joining it every single day. Why? Well, because CBC isn't the only one that is streaming Heartland. Yes, the show was already very popular in Canada and the US for more than a decade. But when Netflix bought the right to stream the show, Heartland made its way on to the overseas and impressed international audience everywhere. Naturally, many people being introduced to Heartland every single day, and they can't help but to go crazy over the show. There is also the fact that the story is far from reaching its conclusion. There are so many unanswered questions since almost none of the characters have completed their character arc. Amy was close to having a completed arc before Ty's death, as she has accomplished almost all of her dreams. However, Ty's death changed everything. She had to start over almost everything, as she had to be a single mom. Now, we have to watch how she will cope with this process and whether or not she will be career-oriented. What kind of a future she is planning for Lindy, or will she have another love in her life? All these questions need to be answered for the show to come to an end, and Amy is just one character. A similar situation is valid for all of them. Lou has finally settled its career path, but her romantic life is still a mess. She still struggles to be single in life and indecisive on who she wants to be with. Georgie and Quinn seem to be forgotten by the show so far, but regardless, we need to see them getting married and having a family together before saying goodbye to Heartland. Even Tim has a lot of things to do. He just got married and we have no idea if he will be successful at being a husband this time. What about Jack and Lisa? They seem perfectly happy right now, but they still lack the vibe that they are the one for each other. We need to see them grow old together before the story wraps up. That's to say, losing Heartland at this point would be a total betrayal to the fans since they still have so many expectations from the show. Thus, we believe there will be a Season 16 and maybe even more seasons before Heartland comes to an end. The show is a Canadian TV treasure and should be treated that way. Do you think there will be a Heartland Season 16? Would you like to see more seasons of Heartland? Let us know what you think in the comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.